rendering right now. Where are you leaving? I don't know when you have that. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Tell Me Something Live, baby. This is the World Wide Web, and we are on YouTube, and we are here to share some fantastic experiences with y'all. Excuse me. I'm just a little enthusiastic because today is my birthday. So excuse me if I get a little pop here and there from time to time. You know what I'm saying? This is a show for entrepreneurs and speakers and entrepreneurs alike, because most speakers are entrepreneurs and most entrepreneurs are speakers. And they're here to share their life's journey, to share experiences, to share something that may inspire you to take your life to the next level. I apologize. People calling me, I don't understand this nonsense. People know I'm doing a show right now, but excuse the ringing in the background. So, Andrea, if you can just say some words and introduce the world to your lovely self.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. We are celebrating Mr. Lenwood Wilson Jr.'s birthday. Happy birthday, my brother. I am so excited to be here. We got a great show for you tonight. So stay tuned for amazing content, amazing speakers. I am so grateful every week to be part of this platform. Back to you.
Most definitely, most definitely. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And the focal topic today is always a surprise. I guess don't even know what the topic is until the day before. The primary topic today is dealing with people that discourage you, people that are naysayers, dealing with people's criticism. You know, so that's going to be the focal topic. Me and Andrea is going to banter about, and Neco is going to bring it in. He's the featured speaker. We have Neco Johnson, and he will be our featured speaker at the end. We also have Latoya Walker, and Ralph Sinclair will start everything off for us. All of them are very wonderful, spirited people, and we are going to be very welcoming to all of them. But let's talk a little bit about dealing with criticism for a quick moment, because that's the focal point today. There's a lot of people out there that don't understand the journey that you're on because they're not on a journey themselves. And you have a lot of people, especially with this internet situation, you have people that don't even know your life story, but you post one thing and they criticize you and they don't even know you. Here's what you do with that. Pay no mind to it. You take it in, because you have to analyze the information, because if everybody's saying the same thing, it might be true. But that don't mean it's a bad thing, because you have to own who you are. You have to know who you are inside out. If you don't know who you are, you're going to be subject to some harsh criticism, and you're not going to be able to defend yourself. But if you know who you are, and you know who you follow, and I'm a Christian, I'm following the Lord above, and I know the path that he got for me, so I know where I'm going. I talk to him very often, so I'm on a path, and I know how to maneuver, and I know my destination at the end. I don't know how grand it's going to be, but I know it's going to be better than where I'm at today. And I'm taking my whole family with me with love. So if it ain't positive criticism, if you ain't got something to add to, like some actual advice, then I ain't paying no attention to it. What's your thoughts, Andrea?
Absolutely, 110%. I just see it as, if they have something to say, that's going to be great if they support me. If they don't, that's my fuel to my fire to work even harder, because I'm going to follow my dream. It's my dream. And like I said, I'm a woman of integrity, so I'm going to bring you all up who support me. And those who aren't ready, I'll see you in a little bit, because you're going to want to follow in the footsteps of success, love, and happiness. Absolutely.
I know that's right. And you could go ahead and introduce our first presenter, Andrea.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, this man was raised by hardworking single mother who made sure that his brothers, sisters, and him always had what they needed. While his mother worked, he spent many days exploring the subsidized housing neighborhoods that they lived in. He didn't know what he was looking for at the time, but he was looking for guidance, direction, and support. However, the reality is that growing up without a father in the home had left a void in him. However, he grew up trying to fill without even knowing he was empty. He always felt that he was like the underdog and that he counted out and overlooked and not really expected to achieve anything great. But as everything he experienced, he devoted his love, passion, experience, talents, and gifts. Here is my man, Mr. Ralph Sinclair. I am pleasure to work with him, know him, and ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Mr. Ralph Sinclair.
Andrea, thank you so much. To my panel guests, Mr. Lenwood Wilson, happy birthday, man. Do it big, and we're gonna do it big just for you. A little bit about me. My name is Ralph Sinclair, R. Sinclair Coaching. I am an author. I am an entrepreneur. As you see, I'm representing R. Sinclair Enterprises. R. Sinclair Coaching is just one of the things to get me to where I need to be. And a little bit about me is that my whole life has been dedicated to tell people everything that you chase can be taken away. Everything your friend, your mama can be taken away. Everything that's material, everything that on this earth can be taken away at any moment. So we have to be careful on the things that we cherish. It's one thing that the world cannot take from you. And it's a sad feeling when it takes you 35 years to realize to start looking for it. I went 35 years and didn't know what I was looking for. Background, you heard a little bit, but I mean, that father thing got a little bit sticky as I grew older. Experience at the age of 17 and found out that even though I was named after this man was my daddy. My daddy had died before I was born. There was no contact on my father's side. I could have a brother walk past me right now and would not have a clue. So half of my understanding is already gone. And now I got resentment in me to find out that this dude wasn't my daddy. But then I started looking back in my life on that situation. And I said, it makes sense. And when you start going back through your childhood, which you should do, and I looked, and the first thing that came back was the beach. The beach. This so-called daddy of mine took me and my sister to the beach. I'm about 3-4 years old. And kids know what's going on. So parents, be real with your kids, because they can pick up at 4 like me. My sister got all these big pills, Ralphs, and she having fun. And the dude didn't buy me nothing. So I'm like, wait a minute, I'm the youngest. Don't I supposed to get something, a blow pop or something? Didn't give me nothing. So I'm like, what's up with this? And then another reflection came on Christmas. Sister got a bicycle. And I got a deep sea fishing rod. Now that might sound like a great gift, but for a kid that's 4 years old, who can throw a fishing rod out like that? So, you know, at that point, and at 4 years old, and this dude treat me like this, I'm like, well, what's going on? I didn't know. Then I changed my outlook at my mom. Single mother, 4 kids, 4 different daddies. So now I'm thinking my mom just like everybody else that's talking in the hood. That hurt. So now you don't even care. You just going out just wild and rebellious. And it took me to go to the military to see a kid get blown up in Africa, get kicked out the military for smoking marijuana. And then after that, 6 years later, the military is still hunting me because now I got a sickness that's unknown, that has never been explained. Hole in my intestines, hole in my bladder. For 6 years, bacteria from my intestines is seeking through my bladder. And that's when I said, wait a damn minute, excuse my language. I don't want this life. I do not want this life. Whoever set this up, y'all can get this back. And that's when my connection to Christ really turned into a connection with Christ. And the first thing I said was, who are you? And I had no answer, none, because voice kept getting killed, criticism. And one of the biggest things that caused criticism, and I hate to say it, it was my church. Coming from a low income area, being the only kid there, and then you got middle class Black people. And then they talk about the project kids like we not there. So now I'm feeling uncomfortable because they're talking about us just because of where I come from. And these are the people that are supposed to love you. We worship with. But they talking about them project kids, they bad and they mom ain't doing nothing. This is what we used to hear in church. So you got to be careful on what you say. Criticizing can cause social anxiety to a kid. And now they're unknown and looking for something. I had to turn to God. And God showed me everything that I went through was to inspire. I have no explanation but God. School didn't work out. I graduated 290 out of 315. Football kept me in school. Military didn't work out. Experienced trauma since the age of 8 from having sexual activity in West Palm Beach, Florida from 8. So I was dealing with mental PTSD on top of PTSD on top of PTSD. Complex PTSD. But God. And when I say they can't take something away from you, it's what's inside of you, what is gifted in you, what will teach you how to take life's lessons and give it back to the world and make it a positive. And when you think about it, that's what Christ did. Christ came, gave his life for people. So I took my life and what I learned about and found my gifts, and I said, I'm going to teach people too. The only thing that you need is identity and purpose. Identity and purpose. If you get those two right, they can't stop you. Everything else they can take, but they can't take you knowing yourself. So why not invest in yourself? We complain about this government and how the world is because we're chasing everything that's out of our control. We can control and find out what we love and what we do and how we want to change and use what we got, and we're happy. Ain't nothing to stop that, and can't nothing take it away. I got into coaching because what inside of me taught me how to heal myself. It taught me to go back through my childhood and change perspectives on things. Then I educated myself to find out that I had already learned what I was learning. CBT, I learned that through the Holy Spirit. Neuroscience, I learned that through the Holy Spirit. But then it was showing me how to use all this stuff to spread, because I know it's millions like me. Adults, I ask every day, if you had no money issues, if money wasn't an issue or your health, what would you do? And the first thing I get is, I don't know. Stop letting life live you, and you start living life. The only thing that is required is to invest in yourself. They can't stop that. They can stop everything else, but they can't stop what's inside of you. God himself came in flesh, walked the earth, died, and left him inside of you, who created you in the beginning, who seen the movie and give you a guide through the movie, but we won't listen to it because we can't pay attention to it because the world is taking us away. So are you tired are you tired of living like you living? Are you tired of complaining? Are you tired of worrying? Are you trying to seek something that you can't get? It's in you. It's in you. They can't take that. They can't take that. And once you know you, then ain't nothing else gonna matter. And once you know what your purpose is, you're gonna be happy anyway, so they can't stop that. And everything else will fall in place. Identity and purpose. And a lot of single men don't know what they're looking for. Girls don't know what they're looking for because they haven't identified, and we don't give them the room to learn about self-identity. So they get caught up in a rut, and a lot of it's too late. A lot of us don't even get a chance. And that's all I want y'all to do, is know that you can live free, and you don't have to depend on this government system. You don't have to depend on religious system. You've already got everything you need. You just need to pay attention to it. And what is it showing you? And where is it guiding you? See, a guide tugs and pulls you somewhere. But this tug and pull is going to give you a feeling so wonderful, and it's not going to have any guilt. And that's what we've been looking for all our life. This satisfaction feeling with no guilt. And we can't find it nowhere, and we're still searching because we haven't even stopped to look inside of us to make us feel like that. So I just encourage you guys to start asking yourselves questions. What do I want to do? How do I want to live my life? Because once you start giving yourself something to chase, you will start chasing it. And the more you put your mind on what you chasing and stop chasing what they tell you to chase, that's when you're going to start seeing the difference. Man, I thank you guys for your time. I don't know if I'm over 15 minutes. I am sorry.
Yeah, you're good. You're right about right in the mark.
Okay.
We always want to chime in for a quick. You was doing your thing, man. Like, hey. I really love you going in depth, with the reality of which you came from, and using your spiritual side and your connection with your own personal connection with God to figure out who you were and follow the purpose that he has for you. Like, that's very commendable, because I can say that I share very similar path. And I just recently got on the proper, because I really didn't have a purpose before, but as of a year and some change ago, I have a certain purpose and I'm following it. Real quick, can you give people a quick snippet of how to find their purpose?
How to find their purpose? First, you have to, it's an evaluation. And purpose is a mixture of things. Purpose is with gifts, passion, and also a desire to want to change something. And when you search for that, sometimes you have to go re-investigate your childhood. You have to see any kind of patterns there. And that's how I first describe, and that's how I describe who I was. That's how I first did. Look back and being criticized because I was a nice guy taking people to church and, hey man, let's go get started car wash. I was an entrepreneur at 12 when we was washing cars just to buy shirts, but that's a whole nother story. I was doing that But then the pressure of my environment started making me not why you buck, just be, you know what I'm saying, not to be picked at. But it hurts you inside because you know that's really not you. So, but my friends say, man, you was always a positive guy. You was always the one that motivated and tried to inspire us to do right. And I'm trying to cover the light and they already see it. So it didn't hurt nobody but me. And I recommend you ask your friends that you grew up with, hey man, what did you think about me? And I looked at my life and everything that I've overcome, and it came to one word, inspiration. So I wake up and try to be an inspiration. So that's how I live my life, to inspire. And I live by that word, and I am who I am 24/7. When I don't have to put on a face to be a dad, I don't have to put on a face to be a husband, I don't have to put on a face to be a preacher, I don't have to put on a face to be R. Sinclair. I just get to be me 24/7, and that's the best feeling in the world. Everybody talking about they real, but they don't even know they ain't real. Like, keep it real, and you can't even ask the question, who are you? Because the realer you get, the more authentic you get, then you get to realize that God in you. Everybody got different fingerprints. And it came from the same manufacturer. So we might be able to get help here, but at some point in time, you're going to go back to the manufacturer because he only created one of you. There's no other one. There's no blueprint. You are a unique vehicle. And can't nobody else fix you but what's inside of you.
Thank you, my man. Thank you, my man. Powerful. I love you. I never really had a chance to get to hear your stuff because, you know, Andrea, you know, introduced me to you, but man, I love your spirit. We are very similar in our heart and our passion. And when Neco, I don't know if you heard Neco speak yet, but me and Neco have a very similar passion in how we speak too. So I think we got some powerful brotherhood going on in here. And I think Latoya, she's gonna come with something pretty strong too. And thank you, Ralph. And his website is in the live description and Facebook also, and it will also be in the regular description once this video renders down. And Andrea, if you can introduce the wonderful Latoya Walker.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ralph is an amazing man. I am so glad our paths cross. Love you, brother. Alrighty, so we got Miss Latoya up next. She is a motivational speaker that empowers everyone she meets. She takes control to lift the focus on God, and she always reaching for the stars. And she has one book called Slave of the Throne. She also has a show coming out this summer that's going to be on She TV. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Latoya Walker.
Hello, everybody. My name is Latoya Walker, and I'm from Dallas, Texas. I am a business owner and a motivational speaker, but it has been a tough road to get where I'm at. It wasn't all peaches and cream. I know you hear people when they say, I have a business, I'm a speaker, then you automatically think that it's just, you know, you just snap your fingers and you're there. But I come from the roughest parts of Dallas. I've been through so much in my life, abuse, drama, and I was living in a world where I knew that it wasn't me. It wasn't who I was. I didn't identify really to these people that I was, you know, surrounding myself around. I just wanted to be a part of something. And when you're looking for love and you're trying to be a part of something, you will go anywhere. You'll go and mainly the place where I come from. Most of the people that are looking for love, they head into the streets. And you know, once you go in the streets, it ain't nothing good gonna come out of it. It ain't nothing good gonna come out of the streets. I don't care how they try to glorify it on social media and through rap songs to make it look good. Nothing good is gonna come from the streets. So I was surrounding myself around these people, and one day I just realized, I said, this ain't who I am. Like they, you know, they really didn't like me, but they did like me because I was able to offer stuff to them that they really didn't know how to do. So the ideas that I would come up with or what I was doing, they was enjoying that, but they really didn't like me. So I prayed to God one day. I was in a bad relationship with an abusive guy that at this point in my life, and I'm gonna tell you, ladies, and this goes for you men as well, where I'm at now, when I look at the people that I dated and surround myself around, they don't even fit into what I got going on. That let me know that they weren't, that they weren't supposed to be in my life. So I asked God one day, I started praying, and you got to be careful what you pray for, because when you pray and you ask God for something, he will reveal it. And it don't matter how he reveal it. How this information was revealed to me was hurtful. So I prayed, I said, God, could you please remove the people, I didn't say for me, I said that are not for you out of my life, because if they're not for him, then they definitely not for me. So as the weeks, months was going by, it was just people just removing themselves. So it's like everybody left, and I'm there by myself, all these people I don't help. And these people like turned out to be the worst people in the world. And these were the same people that I was helping. These were the same people I was giving money to. And they just turned out to, that's what they were there for, is to use me and abuse me. So once I started, thinking about everything, I was like, that wasn't who I was. I felt better when they left out of my life, but I did have like a resentment. I couldn't forgive them really, because it was painful, because these were people that was close to me. So I just want to tell somebody out there also, I know when we hear the word like hoarder, we think it's like trash and clothes and that sort of stuff. But sometimes we can hoard stuff. And what I mean by that is we can hoard memories, we can hoard pain, we can hoard bitterness, we can hoard anything that is causing you not to move forward, anything that's not making you a better person, then that's a hoarder. And I was hoarding not forgiving people, because I was abused. And let me tell you this, the day that I prayed to God and I let all of that go, he started opening doors for me. Sometimes we can stop our own blessing, because the people that have hurt us, they don't went on with their life. They not waking up thinking about what they did to us. They on to their next victim on who they can hurt. And we sitting somewhere mad about what they did 10 or 15 years ago, when the whole thing was God allows us to go through different things so we can overcome them and help somebody else that's going through them. We don't go through things just to be sitting here thinking about it, crying about it. That's not why we're going through them. We here to be leaders. He takes the leaders through the roughest, toughest times. And you don't give up. Don't give up, because I know there's so many people out there that's committing suicide. We're here to help these people. And I'm here to tell somebody that whatever you're going through, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. I can remember I was in Los Angeles, California. I will never forget, and where the Hollywood sign is. And I asked, I was with my children's grandfather, and I said, why do they have that sign covered up where you can't get to it? And he said, a while back, that's where the celebrities actors and actresses would go if they didn't get the role, and they would jump. And he said, there's one particular actress stuck out to me. He said, she went there and she killed herself. And he said the next day, she got the part that they called her for the role that she was stressed out about. So she had done killed herself thinking that she wasn't going to get this role. And she got it the next day. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know what's going to come about. We don't know what's going to come tomorrow. If you're going through something, it's not going to be like that forever. I'm telling you, I done been in situations where I felt like I wasn't going to get out, and I prayed to God, And you got to believe it. You got to believe it, because if you pray and you sit and you stress and you doubt it, then that's whatever you think is going to happen, that's what's going to happen. But you pray and you put your trust in God, I promise you, He going to get you out of the situation that you're in. He going to get you out of the situation that you're in. And another thing I want to go into is removing yourself from people. I'm not saying that you think you're better than this person, but you have to remove yourself from people. If they not going in the same direction you going in, you got to remove yourself, because people will hinder you. And it'll be mainly your family. They will be the biggest ones that will hinder you sometimes, especially if you don't came from a bad background like me. Who do he think he is? Who does she think she is? They're going to be your number one critics. But don't even listen to the noise. Just keep on moving. Don't even listen to the noise. Just keep on moving. Keep on growing. Because if you can't bless them and help them, and 9 times out of 10, they'll keep you in that same position that they met you in. So most of the time, you're going to be here on this earth to bless people that you don't know, people that you just met, because your family and your own friends, they'll never respect who you are, because they met you. And when they met you, you was all messed up and you went through this and you went through that, and they can't figure out how you got out of it. So I'm just basically here to tell you that God is able. You have to surrender yourself. You have to leave the bitterness. And like Ralph said, you got to go in your childhood sometimes and see what's happened. You got to attack those issues in your childhood. And you got to know that a lot of stuff that happened to us in our childhood, how we was raised, I don't fault my mom or dad, because I don't know how their parents were. And I don't know how their parents were. So, but I know that I'm breaking it in this cycle. I'm breaking it with my children. So I know how to love them. I know how to treat them. I know how to talk to them. I know what to do. My mom and dad didn't know how to do that, but I don't hold them for that, because I don't know, like I said, I don't know what how their parents treated them. So I just basically want to tell somebody that it ain't the end of the world. Life is good. Life is what you make it. Don't always look at nobody and think that don't compare yourself to nobody. Compare yourself to yourself, your old self, because you don't know what people are going through and you don't know how they got there. You just don't know. And a lot of this stuff that you see on the internet, a lot of it ain't real. So don't compare your life to nobody. Don't compare your story to nobody. Just live. Thank God. Try to make somebody happy. Try to help somebody. And that's what life is. Your life is beautiful. It's what you feel about yourself, and it's what you do to others. It's how we treat people. That's the number one thing. People think that they look at a person and they say, oh, she's this and she's that. But the person that you really are is the person that you are when nobody see you. So who are you and what do you do? How do you bring value to the world? How do you treat people? That's a big thing, because if you go around here and you treating people bad, that ain't good. And we don't ever want to make our past be the reason, the reason why I'm mean to people, because that's not good. That's not good as well. So I just want anybody that's listening to know that you got a second chance. Reset yourself, restart, rebrand. God forgives you. God loves you. There's nothing that you have done in life where you can't be forgiven. You will have those old thoughts in your mind. You will have that old trauma come up in your mind, but renew it with something that's positive. Renew it with love. Spend time with God. That's the most important thing that I can tell you. How I got through what I was going through was I spend time with God. I spend time with other speakers. I spend time with other people that was in the same walk with me. I didn't go back to the hood where I knew that people was out to destroy me. I spent time with the Lord and his people. And I'm telling you, once you spend time with the Lord, you then discover who you really are. And you might be afraid, because the person that I am now, the old me wouldn't even know how to connect with her. And I'm just being real. Like, the old me wouldn't even know how to connect with her. So just spend time with God. Bring good to the world. Don't complain. and keep pushing, keep moving forward.
Yeah, hey, how you doing? Excuse me, Latoya. I was trying to chime in a little earlier because I thought the audience might have a quick question of I love everything that you talked about of breaking the cycles, and I've been through that. Sound like Ralph's been through that. That's very powerful. Not letting your past or your parents' past or your parents' past
Right.
define you. What in your life triggered you to say, I am going to be the person in my family to break these cycles?
You know what? It was basically like the hurt that I was receiving from people because God was giving me a vision and telling me who I was. And it's like the people that I was allowing to come around me and in my life to hurt me. I'm like, wait a minute, this not even me. And it's like I'm looking at everything around me, and it's like people think that certain people, like when you, and I'm gonna keep it real, in the hood you have these type of people, and they look up to people that's the popular people, the drug dealers, the scammers. And I'm like, hold on. I got God giving me wisdom. He don't gave me sense to. I know how to sit down and talk to people. I know how to form a business. I'm just not going to. I'm sorry. I love my family, but I just can't take that route. I can't take that route anymore. I was heading in that direction, and my feet started hurting, and I turned around and went in the opposite direction. And anybody can do that. This just not no this person or this person. It's in your mind. You have to want to change, but the change comes from within you. I just seen my family struggle too long. I seen them feel like that, that, and this was in a mindset that government, um, food stamps, Section 8, this was their mindset. And every time they talk about it, it would irritate my soul. It would irritate me to hear that that's how far they thought. And even with me speaking today, a lot of them, they don't understand. They don't understand what's going on. And it's not that they don't want to support me, but when your mind can only go to a certain level, when you have been taught, this is where you got to stay, this is what you got to do. And when you see somebody that's come from the same family as you that's doing something different, then that's when they get they don't understand. So basically, I know that that wasn't it for me. That ain't how God wanted me to live. That ain't where He wanted me to be. He chose me to break that cycle, and I'm doing it.
Fantastic. Hey, Andrea, you have any question you want to ask her?
Yes, Miss Latoya, I totally respect and can resonate, understand what you're talking about. Everybody can be from part of the same family, but everybody has a different perspective. You can have a family of siblings, aunts, uncles, you be all the same party,
Mhm.
and somebody has a different perspective, whether it be negative or positive. And it's until you remove your blinders to see the big picture that the clarity comes to fruition, and you realize how far somebody's gone or has yet to go. So thank you for
Mhm.
pointing that out. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Andrea. And we are, for those who do not know where you are, you have stumbled upon or you have directly come to Tell Me Something Live. And this is a wonderful show for entrepreneurs to shed their light, shed their soul, shed their life journey, and also for speakers to do the same thing. Because most speakers are entrepreneurs, and most entrepreneurs are speakers. And I love what's going on right now today. It's real spiritual, it's real soul connected, and I'm loving it because it's my birthday, and I'm a very spiritual person. And this connection with God that everyone's talking about, and their depths from overcoming and breaking the chains of your family's past, and not repeating the cycle, and looking at yourself and taking ownership and saying, I'm the one that got to do this. Like, I'm loving the energy that everything is going on right now. And I just want to say once again, happy birthday to myself. I love the fact I'm gonna keep putting out content like this. Me and my lovely host, Andrea Mason, we are very passionate about this platform we're bringing, and we know it's going to grow. So just stay with us. And up next, we have the amazing Neco Johnson Sr. And Miss Andrea Mason, she's going to introduce my man for you.
Absolutely. Happy birthday again. And recognize this is a great night. I feel the love, the energy. You are absolutely right. Great panel tonight. All right. So hold on to your seats. We got a great one for you. We've got Mr. Neco Johnson Sr. is a leadership course and instructor and is a certified master resilience trainer with extensive experience in leadership. He has 22 years in the U.S. military veteran and combines service, positivity, excellence, authenticity, and knowledge to create a unique leadership and coaching style that helps individuals and organizations to elevate their performance and to achieve their personal professional goals. He has graduated with a bachelor's of art and organizational management from Ashford University and a master's of arts in education from Central Michigan University. Upon graduation, he was continued to hone his own leadership and coaching skills, which led him to his selection of his current position as the top tier enlisted educator in the U.S. Air Force. Please welcome Mr. Neco Johnson Sr.
Oh man, good grief, y'all. Y'all put some pressure on me now. See Ralph back there cracking up. Man, that was an awesome intro. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for that. Brother Lenwood, happy birthday, brother. Great stuff. I appreciate what both of you guys have been doing, representing with your show. Great stuff. Man, y'all put me behind two outstanding speakers. Brother Ralph and Sister Latoya got deep on me, man. They got deep. But good stuff. I just want to speak on criticism. Just share a few moments and a few thoughts on criticism and maybe a couple of stories from my life on that. Because criticism, I mean, we all deal with it. At some point in our lives, we all deal with criticism. We're either dealing with it now, we have dealt with it, or we're gonna deal with it in the future if we haven't at some point. And you know, criticism in my life started very early in my childhood. You know, back from growing up in a not so great environment, and you know how kids are. Kids are going to make fun. And my first criticism came about my nose. The kids talking about my big nose, calling me koala bear. And I can laugh about it now. I can laugh about it now. Hey, you feel me, brother? You feel me, right? I can laugh about it now, but just kids, being criticized about my nose or about my clothes or about my shoes and wearing the same thing over and over. At one point, moved in with my aunt. We got put in a private school, so we had to wear the blue and white, the same uniform every day. And the public school kids would crack on us every day and make fun of us and stuff like that. From that to not being able to afford haircuts, getting laughed at about my haircut, my bushy looking hair or my crooked teeth. I had a girl, big, huge elementary/middle school crush, and she was like, I would date you, but if your teeth wasn't so messed up. And man, for a young kid, that crushed me. That crushed me for a young kid. And it just really, really hurt my confidence. So criticism is a big thing. Whether you are a school-age kid or whether you're a full-grown adult, criticism can have a huge impact on anyone, honestly, on anyone. There's really no number on it. There's no age you can put on it. And it really, it pushed me back. And I experienced some criticism in my career as well. And also when sharing with people that I want to be a motivational speaker / life coach / leader in the personal development field, there's a lot of criticism that comes with that. So again, my confidence started very low from an early age from some of the experiences that I had as a kid. It was really no joke. And I remember wishing that I had the confidence that I saw some of my friends have, that I saw some of the other kids. As a matter of fact, I think it was eighth grade, one of the guys in school, he started dating a very pretty girl, probably one of the prettiest girls in the school. And I'm like, man, how did he pull that one? How did he pull that one? And he was nowhere near the best looking guy in the school. I'm like, hold on now. I know I ain't the best looking guy either, but I look better than this guy. But what was the difference between he and I was that he believed he could get the girl. He had all the confidence in the world. He believed he could get the girl and he acted accordingly and he got the girl. So my question to a lot of people is, what are you believing about yourself? What are you believing about your talents, your ability, your future? Don't let someone else's criticism, don't let someone else's opinion of you become your reality. We have to work on changing our mindsets, getting in our own heads or getting out of our own heads. And changing our mindsets is going to help us to change our actions. By changing our actions, we will definitely change our results, no matter what the criticism says about us. You know, most of us have had someone in our lives who we wish we never met. We have someone in our lives we wish we never met, but those individuals taught us some of the greatest lessons we have ever learned. And this statement takes me all the way back to my first shop over 22 years ago. First started working in the shop. I had an experience with an individual in that shop, and it triggered a determination in me that I still have to this day because of that one experience. I've built on it since then, but he triggered that. He triggered an experience in me to be determined even until this day. So I started my career off in the HVAC career field. HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration. And I am not a natural mechanical mind. I'm not the kind of guy who likes to work with his hands. That's just not my thing. I've never been great with working with my hands, and I've never really found a lot of pleasure in that. But when I first joined the military, I scored high in that area on my entrance exam. And so I accepted an HVAC job. I said, okay. They said they said I scored well in this area, so let me go ahead and take this job. So one day I was assigned to work with the guy, we'll call him Spike. I was assigned to work with Spike for the day. He was a highly experienced technician, and he was going to be my trainer for that day, teach me some skills. I get to shadow him a little bit and really learn the job. So we were in the shop one day preparing some equipment to go out and make some repairs. And he was like, hey, go grab me a tool. I forgot the name of the tool, honestly. But when he mentioned the tool's name, I knew at that very moment, I had no idea what tool he was talking about. I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about, but I was way too embarrassed to tell him I didn't know what tool he was asking for. So I went into the tool room. I grabbed something that I thought would maybe be the tool he was asking. This looks like it'll be what he's asking for. Came out there and he was like, what is that? That's not what I asked you for. And I played it off. I was like, oh, my bad. Yeah. Let me go get the right tool. I went back in there and guessed again because I really had no clue. I had no idea what he was asking for. But when I came back out, I overheard him talking to another technician in the shop, telling him how dumb I was. And both of them started laughing and talking about me. And I stopped in my tracks. I stopped dead in my tracks. And I'm like, man, are they serious? Are they seriously openly talking about me like I'm not just right around the corner? I was hurt. That was painful. That was painful. And it was embarrassing. It was extremely embarrassing. But honestly, in a way, it validated the negative thoughts I already had about myself. Their criticism really just validated what I thought about myself and the lack of confidence that I had in my technical abilities at that time. So I was a young man, early 20s, I don't know, 20 years old, 21, very, very young man. And I lacked the confidence in my abilities, but I also lacked the communication skills to be able to confront them appropriately. Back at that time, if I would have confronted them the way that I knew how, it would have turned into something negative, maybe something violent. And I didn't want to say the wrong things, do the wrong things to get myself in trouble. So I kept it all inside. I kept it all to myself. However, it was at that moment that I made a decision. I made up in my mind that they would never be able to say anything like to me about me like that again. Nobody in that shop or nobody, period, would be able to call me dumb again. So I dove in my books. I pulled the books out and I spent so much time. I put so much time, effort, and energy into learning my craft and perfecting my skills that you couldn't tell me nothing. I would go out on my own after hours and start troubleshooting equipment and practicing by myself just to make sure that my skills were where I thought they were. And slowly but surely, I became one of the go-to guys in that shop. I ended up expanding my skills into the community and started working side jobs and helping people out who were having HVAC issues in their home. I even began working a second job in a housing community as their maintenance guy and taking care of the HVAC and plumbing issues. And I expanded my skills so much that I eventually got an opportunity to teach at a 4-year military technical training school. And I taught there for 4 years, taught that skill. So a job that I was previously criticized about, a job that I had little to no confidence in my ability to do, I ended up being a trainer teaching other people how to do that job. And why? Because a couple of clowns in the shop running their mouths, disrespecting me, criticizing me early in my career. And like I said, they triggered a work ethic in me that I still have to this day. So while most of us have critics, while most of us have people in our lives that have hurt us in some way, many of us have also learned some great lessons from those experiences. And from those lessons, we've been able to achieve greater things since then. So I just want to remind you, like my coaches reminded me, you can't be grateful for the lessons that you have in life, but hateful for the teachers. And I used to carry a lot of hate for Spike and the crew. But once I heard that message, you can't be grateful for the lessons, but hateful towards the teachers. That one hit me. That was deep. So while we may want to go back and erase these people out of our past, we would also be erasing all the wisdom that we've learned from those experiences. So appreciate the critics. Appreciate those trolls. Let them troll, because they're just going to fire you up. They're only going to make you stronger. They're only going to make you stronger. However, I love this quote by Carl Menninger that says, environment is more important than heredity. Your current environment is more important than your heredity. So what does your environment look like? Who do you have in your circle? Are they lifting you up? Are they bringing you down? Are they helping you achieve maximum results in your life, or are they holding you down? Another story, I can remember back when my middle son was in the 8th grade, and he would bring this homework home, and it would absolutely confuse me. I mean, that 8th grade homework was kicking my butt. It was wearing me out. And I was lost trying to figure that stuff out, especially the math. I was lost. I'm like, man, I have no idea. But my wife jumped right in there though, and she started recalling everything that she had learned in school. Like all the math she had learned just boom, popped in her head, came back to her memory. She got in her zone, and thankfully she was able to help him figure that stuff out, because I had forgotten everything that I learned at school. I don't know how she pulled that off. Years later, when my youngest daughter started, making her way through elementary school, same thing happened, right? The work started getting more challenging, and daddy, daddy reached his limits. I'm like, I have no idea what this stuff is. And there I was again, lost, confused on how to help her out, and then how to get her through some of that stuff. Here comes my wife again to the rescue, jumped right in there as if she was just fresh out of elementary school. And she remembered all her lessons from elementary school and was able to guide my daughter through her coursework. And I'm sitting there baffled, like, how can somebody in her mid 30s so easily remember all the stuff that she learned in elementary school? And I would always express my appreciation for her. Like, I don't know how you do that, but I'm glad you're here, because maybe it's normal for all of y'all out there, but it is not normal for me to remember everything from elementary school. I mean, I found it extremely difficult to remember anything from my childhood. So this went on and happened on several occasions. Every time I would ask her, how do you remember all that stuff? She wouldn't be able to give me an answer. Then one day we were just relaxing. We were either relaxing in the house or riding in the car. And just out of nowhere, she says, it was an escape. I said, huh? She said, it was an escape. Seeing that I was obviously confused by what she was saying, she said, school. School was an escape. She said, you always ask me how I can remember everything from, my childhood days. It's because school was an escape for me. See, for my wife, the criticism in her life came from home. The negativity that she experienced, it came from her home environment. And from her perspective, she felt little to no love at home, and she was traumatized by seeing domestic violence on a regular basis, seeing her mother the victim of domestic violence. And my wife was also the victim of some physical abuse. So from dealing with all those problems at home and being traumatized, to going out in the community and being picked on by the kids, about her dark skin or her big lips or whatever it was, she was looking for an escape. And school is where she found her escape. School was the one place she could go where she would receive compliments. She'd do well on her work, and the teachers would be like, great job, Rondi, outstanding job. So she would push harder. She would work for those compliments. She would go home and do her homework without a parent even checking her papers, because she knew that she had compliments coming. She knew she had some positive criticism coming when she turned in her assignments to her teachers. So she did well on her work. Her teachers would say, great job, give her a pat on the back. She got more motivated. She joined the drama club eventually and got her acting skills on and got a lot of good positive feedback from that, boosted her confidence even more. Then as she got older, she joined music and choir and chorus and started singing and really blew up from there and got a lot of attention and became popular. And after hearing her story, it was then much easier for me to understand why she remembers everything from those school days, because it was her escape. So my question to the listeners out there is, what are you escaping from? Or maybe I should rephrase that. What do you need to escape from? What should you be escaping from? Who or what is bringing you down or causing you to be stagnant in your life or doubt yourself? Who is causing you to doubt your dreams and your abilities? It may be time for you to change your environment, because mentors, friends, coworkers, family members, those people are the ones who cheer us on and motivate us when times get tough in our lives. Those are the people who offer advice and assistance and that can help us improve our chances at success. But if they aren't doing those things, then it's probably time for you to make a change. It's time for you to use those critics as your motivation. Let that stuff feed you, right? Like Andrea said earlier, let it feed you. Let it fire you up, right? And if it doesn't feed you and you find that it's just too much and it weakens you, then you need to remove yourself from it altogether. Get away from them and stop wasting your time on that negativity and those energy draining people. You need to be working towards goals and helping other people do the same. Even when you don't fully understand how you're going to make it to the top of that mountain, you're going to find that it's along the journey that where you're going to find your greatest discoveries. The journey. It's not the mountaintop, it's the journey. So don't let the criticism stop you from moving forward, because if you do, it's going to stop you from finding that mountaintop. There's so much possibility, creativity, and success just waiting on you if you only keep going. Just keep going. And once you get there, and you will get there, whoever's listening, you will get there. Once you get there, think back to how those critics made you feel and make sure that you're a better friend. Make sure you're a better supporter. Make sure you're a better mentor to other people when they share their goals with you. Build those relationships. Expand your positive influence so they can expand theirs and they can expand theirs. You know, it's like putting money in the bank. You making relationship deposits in that relationship bank. That is what you're doing. And they're going to reciprocate that. When you need some love and support, it's going to be reciprocated. Think about it. Don't let people's words beat you down. And I know sometimes the greatest obstacle to us moving forward is us. Sometimes I'm my biggest enemy, right? But people who move on to accomplish great things, they're aware. Yes, I have some negative thoughts. However, they give all their energy to the positive in their lives. The negative is going to be there. The negative is going to be there. And if you are hesitant to move, I'm encouraging you right now to feel that fear and do it anyway. Acknowledge the fear. Say, yeah, I see you, fear. Yeah, this sucks right now. I don't like the way I feel right now, but I'm going to take a step forward anyway. All right. I'm going to take a step forward anyway. You don't have to be 100% confident right now. You only need to be, matter of fact, I just heard recently, you only need to be 51% confident. You need 51% belief. As long as you have a little bit more belief than you have doubt, then you could take a step forward, period. Take that step forward. Your belief and your commitment have to be strong. I mean, even recently at my current job, I shared my goal of becoming a life coach and a motivational speaker with a few of my coworkers, and at two different times, two separate occasions, but they both had the same response. And that response was, everybody wants to be a coach nowadays. That's what everybody's doing. Everybody wants to be a coach. And if I didn't have commitment to this calling, because that's what it is for me, it's a calling. If I did not have commitment to this calling, I would have given up like I used to give up when I faced criticism back in the day. And I've often been counted out. I've been overlooked because I'm a pretty quiet guy, and I don't seek power. I don't seek attention, and I don't feel the need to be in charge all the time. So it's easy for me to sit back and just play my role. But this has caused me to be overlooked. It's caused me to be criticized at several points in my career. So I made a decision, like I shared with you guys earlier, I made a decision to put in the work and let my life do the talking. And that's where I came up with the acronym SPEAK. I let my life speak for itself through service, positivity, excellence, authenticity, and knowledge. I let my actions do all the talking. And since I've started doing that, my results have been on a constant climb. And I'm having some very consistent success and a lot more to come. A lot more to come. You know, we all have the ability to succeed both personally and professionally, and our results are directly related to the environment that we put ourselves in. I'm happy to be surrounded by a team of winners like the ones you see here on the screen. This past year has been such an awesome journey for me, and I've had the opportunity to meet several, I mean, countless driven people. I mean, my friends list is over the thousands now because it's just been crazy. You know, I started last May. I ended up clicking on the button and I signed up for a course through Lisa Nichols, Motivating the Masses. And I joined a 6-month coaching program and it changed everything. Then later in the fall, I joined Les Brown's Power Voice program, 8-week program. And that, oh my goodness, that elevated me to another level. And then I joined, you know, Proctor Gallagher's Thinking into Results program with John Tallarico, which I'm taking right now. So these things have been life-changing journeys for me, and I'm grateful for how far I've come. So I'm encouraging you guys to think more positively, speak more kindly to yourself, speak more kindly to your own personal thoughts, because your brain is listening to what you tell it, and it's going to obey whatever you tell it. I mean, I heard a coach say this recently, and I want to share it with you guys. Have you ever had a moment where you were trying to remember someone's name or a song or a movie or something, and it just would not pop up in your head, right? It just would not come to your mind. In the moment, you could not remember. But later on, after you had moved on, doing something else, out of nowhere, that thing pops into your head. Oh, Andrea is her name. That's what it was, right? It just pops into your head. Well, this is because earlier, when you were trying to think of that name, you had given your brain a command. You said, remember that person's name or remember that movie or that song. And even though you had moved on and started doing other things, your brain was like, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to remember whatever that is. And your brain did the work and eventually brought that thought back to you. This is because you had subconsciously commanded your brain to find that information, right? So your words, your thoughts are powerful. We need to be extremely careful what we tell ourselves because our brain is listening and our brain is going to make it happen, whether it's positive or negative things, whether it's criticism from the outside or positivity from the inside. Be careful what you say to yourself and about yourself. No matter what people say, we need to be determined to win from within. We have to be committed to not buying other people's negative talk and criticism. Don't fall for someone's criticisms or negative opinions about you and your actions, but be determined to win. Your future can be everything you ever dreamed of and then some, because we already have the talent. We already have the tools we need to experience one beautiful day after another. But how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Because there are people who were born in this time, and there were people who were born for this time. You, what are you here for? And what are you going to do about it? My name is Neco Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to come by and give you guys a healthy reminder that you have it all within you. And do not let anyone's criticism, don't let any trolls stop you from moving forward. You have that greatness within you, and now it's the time to unleash it. Thank you.
My man, my man, my man. Can y'all hear me properly? Andrea, can you hear me?
Yes,
All right, because I'm testing out this whole earphone thing. Yo, see, one thing, me and you, Neco, we need to connect more because when I look at you, and it's probably because your military background, you're like the clean cut version of what I bring to the table. You know what I'm saying?
I can attest to that.
Ever since I first heard you speak on the Iffy McCoy thing, and you wanted me to check it out and do your video, I was like, wow, like, you know, the passion and what we bring to the table are very, very similar, you know, and I definitely want to connect with you more because it's very rare you come upon something like that. You know, I want to do some more projects with you, but I love because you say that you're going to let your work do the action, but you're an elegant speaker. You're very well spoken, and you say back when you're in your 20s, you know, anger issues, you know, it might have took you to a different place, you know, when you were dealing with people's criticism, but you have grown, my friend, and I would say, don't be afraid to allow your voice to speak because you are very well spoken. So you say you just want to use your actions. Man, use your voice because you know what to say now, and you have that power. You don't have to. You don't have to say, "No, I'm not going to say it." I'm just. You can say it too because you got that, baby. You got something to say, Andrea?
Absolutely, absolutely. Just for everything tonight. I mean, each one of you hold a place in my heart for the belief what we're talking about. You know, where we started identifying ourselves, like Ralph talks about self-awareness, identifying who you are. Miss Latoya, by recognizing and believing in yourself and breaking those chains from childhood. I could totally relate from being bullied. And Neco talking about, you know, the foul mouth, the fear, the naysayers. They can change it around. You change your channel, you change your mindset, and you can move forward. And I can definitely say each and every one of you, including my major co-host, who has been my #1 fan way back in October, believed in me from day one. This is an amazing platform. All of you have a place in my heart. This is what it's about. And I'm just so honored and pleasure to be here with each and every one of you. Thank you very much.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. And for those of you that don't know where you are, we're at the end of the show. We're going to wrap it up. This is Me Something Live, ladies and gentlemen. Tell Me Something Live. And it has been a great experience of entrepreneurs speaking and speakers talking about their life journey. Just a lovely platform with Neco Johnson, Ralph Sinclair, and Latoya Walker, my lovely co-host Andrea Mason. I really love the whole spirit that's happened. Like I said, it's my birthday, so good spirits always add to the encouragement and enjoyment. Everybody's links is in the live chat, and once this video renders, everything will be in the descriptions. If y'all want to contact these people for some coaching, for some life advice, whatever, you see they have some powerful mindsets, they have some powerful spirituality, and we're going to do a quick round to wrap it up. So, anybody want to say goodbyes or some last moment advice to anyone? Ralph, you want to say something right quick?
Hey man, you can't be letting preachers talk too long because we don't know how to stop. So you can't tell a preacher rap here. We might be here tomorrow morning. But anyway, don't never let the preacher talk. No, but one word though, and it's God downloaded this to me yesterday, and it was unique. He said, I created billions of unique individuals. And he said, at some point, if they want it to run properly, they're going to have to come back to me. We might get some help from here. We might get some help from there, but it's only one of you. He said, just like the fingerprints, DNA, all this stuff changes, but it all goes back to the manuscript. And I also would like to say, y'all, I just finished my book. It'll be coming out in about 3 weeks. It's called Making It All Make Sense, The Journey to Purpose. And it goes through my childhood and the things that I deal with and how I got back into finding who I was. So I appreciate it. I thank you guys. I hope I'll get a chance to be back on here. Neco, I loved it, dude. I loved it. I loved it. Latoya, you killed it. Andrea, and birthday dude, Mr. Wilson, with all that energy over there. And give me some of them noodles.
Hey, you're crushing them spaghetti.
Go ahead, Miss Latoya.
I would like to say thank you guys for inviting me, and Ralph and Neco, y'all, you both touched me. Like Ralph, you know, you got a story and you need to get it out there more. Neco, you do too. So you guys both touched me. Lenwood and Andrea, you guys are doing an amazing job. And just for any listeners out there, remember, God don't care what you did this morning. God is not like men are. Whatever you did, you can go to him. You can, it don't matter what you did, you can go to him and he'll forgive you and he'll love you and he'll give you a fresh start. It's okay to start over. So that's what I want anybody that's listening to know, that go to God. He'll help you.
Go ahead and say something, Neco.
Hey, good stuff, man. I appreciate you having me on. I know you initially asked. I had like 100 questions. Like, hold on, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. What? We're speaking about what? How much time do I have? I was nervous, man. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. But I'm only honored to share the stage with these two speakers, Latoya and Ralph. And it's crazy because I have a sister named Latoya Walker. That's crazy. My big sister's named Latoya Walker. But no, great messages from both speakers, and it's honored. It was an honor to follow you guys up. I appreciate what y'all represent, speaking about it loud and proud and bold, and that's big stuff. That's much respect to you all. And Andrea and Lenwood, hey, y'all representing, man. I look forward to seeing this thing skyrocket. I appreciate being here.
My man, thank you. Andrea, you want to say some closing words?
Yes, Mr. Wilson, I want to, on behalf of the panel, we are going to unmute ourselves and grant you the most happiest birthday. All right, ready, y'all? Let's get your singing voices because I ain't got one. So ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy
Birthday to you.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lenwood. Happy birthday.
All right, we all on a lag, but you know, we got the message. Somebody's
It's my dog birthday. It's my dog birthday. Oh, I'm sorry. I got crunk there. I'm sorry. Oh, I got project and preacher in me, but you know, it's all good because it's love and it's the spirit. See, people get caught up in that thing. It's the spirit of the thing that makes it good.
yeah, so he hasn't forgot where he came from. Lenwood, pleasure, my brother. Always doing a great show. Check us out next Monday, 7:30. Actually, is it 7:30 or?
Yeah, it's 7:30. It's 7:30 because it's the 29th.
I wasn't sure because I think next Monday is the 1st. No.
No, the 5th is the first. No, it's the first Monday of the week. I'm of the month. First day of the month, 12 p.m. Yeah.
My bad. All right. Thank you so much. And I appreciate and love you all. Thank you so much. Back to you, Lenwood.
Peace and blessings, everyone. And this is Tell Me Something Love, and we are out.